Oh, you knew that too? You
Yeah, we heard that.
the rain.
The rain.
Right.
Well, we haven't learned to control the weather yet, but that's something we can look forward to as tomorrow's challenge.
Right.
We haven't learned to control the weather yet, but that's something we can look forward to as tomorrow's challenge.
Right.
Tomorrow's challenge. Right.
Well. We are hopefully back again, and hopefully we are live, right? Would you, Adam and Eve, it? Before I forget, I did get my original channel reinstated back from the dead, and I was meant to do an update. I can't remember now, a few days ago, but I've not had enough time. I did put a video on the original channel. Most of you will know, but some people won't. So it is linked in, right? But I did put a video out on it. And how long was it? Let me think. I think that same day or the next day, I got a strike. So already I'm in YouTube prison or the Fort Police jail over on the original channel. But it is back again, back from the dead on appeal number, I think maybe number 4 or 5. And on this appeal, I was unsure. I kind of thought, right, what have I not said in previous appeals? So this time I kind of thought more about the Telegram appeal that I had one about a month ago, maybe. And what I had done was I sort of made the point or emphasized the point that the channel could potentially be a target by individuals rather than the Fort Police. But outside of that, somebody might have had it in for it. So I kind of put that, not in that exact words, but I explained that the channel could potentially be a target for, I don't know, if you want, you could call it maybe spite. I don't know what you would call it, but I went with that as well and kind of, I put it in better words than that. And it won on that. So maybe it was that. I don't know. You would never know. I genuinely still am none the wiser as to why they deleted it and why they put it back. And the same goes with the first time that they done it. I don't know why. They claimed the original deletion, they claimed medical misinformation. It wasn't. None of it was. All of it completely true. So we got it back again. The second time around, it was really strange how it happened. To begin with, they deleted the channel because of a video from the movie Don't Look Up, and they claimed it had sexual nudity, and so they basically claimed that it was pornographic. And in my view, it wasn't. But even with that said, it was on. I got it from YouTube. So how could it be all over YouTube yet when I put it on, my channel got deleted just on that? But then they came back again. YouTube came back again and said, actually, your channel's now terminated because of deceptive practices, spam, hate speech, and God only knows what else. And at that time, I did think, well, it looks like it's definitely not going to be back now. But then, like I said, after about 4 appeals, it's back again. So I did put in a link in the description, but I always, you've got to kind of wonder what is it about, right? I'm sitting here thinking, whose channel is it? Is it YouTube's or is it mine? I'm unsure. I think it's maybe YouTube's rather than mine. So I don't know if it was to happen again. I genuinely might just call it a day with YouTube at least and leave it at that, because it's annoying to go through. It's quite hard to explain. but I feel like I've got no control over it, and it doesn't even feel like it's my channel anymore, to be honest, which is strange, right? But we are here live on the backup, which is on 2 strikes currently until I think the end of October. So we're on thin ice here. We do have the third, which I don't think I linked in. I think we've got about 100 people on it. Like I said, if I get deleted again, I don't know. I really don't know, honestly. But I did say that before. I genuinely thought I wasn't going to get it back, but we got it back. For how long? I don't know. I don't think it'll be long, to be honest. What I better do before I carry on, just a bit of an update today, or a catch update is what I'm going to call it, right? It's an update and a catch up in the one. Oh, there goes my door. Typical that, right? I better go and get it. My wife's not here. What I'll do is I'll play a tune and then I'll be back in a sec. Sorry.
We don't need no stinking badges. Just a little seed makes a big tree, standing on its own, thriving all alone. Just a little seed makes a big tree, grows so high, gonna touch the sky. Just a little seed makes a big tree, spreads roots deep, branches far and wide. Masonic lockdown in your hometown. Masonic lockdown, can you hear me now? From the top down, soul shock down, state shakedown, mass breakdown, global orders, riding over borders. Get behind your doors for the new world order. Dr. Evil and his needle, Dr. Evil with a master plan, a false vaccine, like a bad dream. The plant's a microchip, every woman, child and man. The plant's to chip us all, to have complete control, the land, the sky, your soul. Peace like silence in the snow. Free to do exactly as you're told. Obey, consume and die. And up to heaven for your pie up in the sky. Sleepwalking dream.
Right, we're back. We're back again, right? Would you believe it? Typical that, the door went, and it was actually my best friend. He was only just stopping off, but I'll see him again tomorrow. I had to run up the stair. I'm knackered. You can tell that I'm unhealthy, right? And that's me. I'm actually not, I wouldn't say I was unfit, but I'm certainly not the fittest, and I could certainly do more. Although I am out on the bike quite a lot, but there's nothing in the way of stamina. Nothing compares to being out there and running, sprinting, jogging on the bike. The bike's all right, but it's no match for when it comes to stamina when you're out running. That's the best way to get your stamina going, at least in my view, right? Not an expert, of course, but I'm not even sure where I was at, but what I'll do is I'll say hello before I get lost in the day, the life that we're in. Right, here we go. Where is the chat? How far back can I go? I've missed lots of comments. Typical. I never expected so many people, to be honest. Because it was out of the blue, right? There is a few bits that I want to maybe show you, but it's all part of a live that I probably will do in about a week or 2 weeks from now. I'm a bit tight with time and the schedule that I've kind of got at the moment, so I'm unsure when I'm going to be back again after today. possibly next Monday, maybe. Although I might jump on if I get a chance, but it won't be a big live. I want to do one on geoengineering and it was going to be a video, but I think it probably should be a live. It's basically on satellites and the limitations of satellites. And honestly, it's funny. It's gonna crack a few people up, right? Honestly, these sophisticated satellites. Yay! We are not worthy. And it kind of stemmed from a new iPhone that's out that's got an emergency SOS or messaging capability that you don't need Wi-Fi, you don't need data, you don't have to pay. And I wonder who else gets to use that secret network that you can tap into. Yeah, no one, right? Sure. But I mean, it sounds like a good thing, a phone having this ability. So if you're ever lost, heaven forbid, you was ever completely lost in the middle of nowhere or a forest that God only knows, you could use that, but it's going to give people a lot of false, what's the word? False security. Is that the right word phrase that I'm looking for? They're going to think it's all right. They don't need to know about the geography. They don't need to know about maps. They don't need to know about anything in that way. Survival, because they've got the iPhone, right? All hail the iPhone. Where would we be without it? Honestly, that is a genuine question. Is anyone going to let me know? Where would we be without the iPhone? I wonder. We would just have the Android, right? Probably. There's always two. You always kind of get the choice between two, and that's it. And it's pretty much the same with phones. And the masses, they fall into either one category or the other. Most people I know, it's iPhone, but personally, it's Android, and it's pretty much always been Android for me. I have had iPhones in the past, but I hated it. I do not like them one bit. So I'm hoping the audio's all right. I've not checked, to be honest. I did see Rich was in the hood. My son Rich, right? But don't tell anyone. And Liz as well. My good friend Liz and Phil in Bonnie, Scotland. Good to see you two. And hopefully Phil's getting some work done, right? Crack the whip, Liz. Just get him to help, and then yeah, you'll get it done, right? If only life was that simple. I've been married. I got married in 2019, but I've been with my wife since about man, Jesus, I hope she's not listening. I'm going to get murdered, right? Was it about 2010 maybe that we got together? I'm going to get hung, drawn, and quartered now, honestly. I hope she's not listening. She won't be listening anyway, but she might hear it. I don't know. She's out at the moment, but yeah, I wouldn't be without my wife today. So I'm very grateful for my wife and the family that I've got. Who else did I see there? Carmel, of course. What? Without Rich, there is no Carmel, right? They're always chasing each other about. And Steve, the number one moderator in the hood, good to see you back again. Who else did I see there? A dog named Boo. Yeah, quite early. We're into the afternoon here. So good morning to a dog named Boo, right? Good to see you back again. Rich, Steve, Justine, of course, yeah. The mother of the group, right? The go-to for all you need to know. A bit like Frank, the information tank, who I don't know if Frank's in the hood, but he could be. He's always about, right? Or thereabouts. Yeah. Is that why my ear was burning? I had a burning ear. That's what it must have been, right? My dad used to say stuff like that. Oh, my ear's burning. Someone must be talking about me or thinking about him. I can't remember what it was, but I always used to laugh at that. Did anyone else used to say that? Did your parents used to say it? Maybe they still do. I hope it was in a good way. I'll allow you to think about me, right? A dog named Boo. I'll let you off. So who else did I see there? I think that might be it. Oh, Dave, there we go. Dave A in the hood. Good to see you back again. Mark in the hood as well. A pleasure to have you this afternoon. Anyone else that I missed? Yep, MCG back again. Good to see you in the hood. And Liz, Mark, Steve, a dog named Boo. I've probably missed people, but if I have, I apologize. Hopefully, I'll maybe catch it because I'll come back to the chat, right? And we'll go elsewhere for a sec. Let me grab a drink. My stomach's going mental here for some reason. You might hear it. You might hear it and wonder, what's that? I think because I downed my coffee. Not a good idea, right? Is the audio? I think we're okay for the audio. I never noticed. I'm pretty much blind, to be honest. Man. Totally bigging myself up here, right? I don't yeah, she might just, to be honest, although she knows what my memory can be like, right? I think she would say selective hearing and selective memory, possibly. If there is such a thing, right? We'll go with that. Yeah, I think we're okay. I think we're all good. Yeah, we're good to go, even though we're going anyway, right? That's what we're like. We don't stop. Yeah, great stuff. Let me see. So, like I said, we are back again over on the original channel. I'm confusing myself already. It doesn't take much, right? I thought I might just delete the third one because it's too confusing. So if you see it disappear, I'll let you know, but it just feels like too much, to be honest. But I might just leave it, and I guess it could be dormant, and we'll get to it if needed, right? So we're back again on the. In fact, did I? I was meant to link it in, but I don't think I did. And I reckon most people here will already know, but sometimes people do. I mean, we've been deleted for about 5 months. So on the backup channel, we have gained even quite a few extra or more subscribers who possibly don't even know about the original channel. So I'm just trying to do my bit to make sure that people know, because last time around, people didn't know. Honestly, some people never knew about the original channel. So that's probably my fault, to be honest. So I thought I'd mention it today. And before I forget, the website, right? Let me see. Can I work this screen? Surely. There we go. Now I put myself in AI form today. Where am I? How do I do it again? Ta-da. I'm in bot form. Look, I'm an AI bot today. Look at his hand, it's glitching. He's an AI bot. The guy was right. I've been an AI bot all along. It's the green screen. Can you see it? It's the classic spraying in front of the sun, or the path of the sun, if you like. I thought I would use that as the picture, and I've never changed it. And to be honest, I don't think I will. I mean, what's the point, right? There's no point. I'll just keep it the way it is. And we do cover the continuation of the spraying, which is constant, For how long now? Wow. Put it this way, way before I was born. Way, way, way before I was born. And I've got the cap on as well. If you put it backwards, you're American, right? I might just switch the camera off because it'll just Carmel might be, or a dog named Boo might be having her breakfast. Put it off. So let me see. Yeah, there we go. The website is there, and it actually as well, if you go to it, you can get the 2 videos that I done with Sensum, our English brother. I would advise that you watch the second one before it gets removed or deleted. Is it? Yeah, the second one, because we talked about the juice quite a bit, and hey, I don't need to tell everyone what that involves. There's so much connected to it, and the majority of the stuff connected to the juice, well, the Fault Police won't like you talking about it. So, you can go onto YouTube and get it, part 1, part 2, right? I would advise you check it out. I think that was mostly what I had to update people on. Like I said, that is the original channel in all her glory. Hurrah! And you can get a link to the website, to the Rumble, if you want to Rumble, to the backup channel, to Odyssey, and to BitChute. BitChute probably is the one that I use least, to be honest. It's full of trolls, put it that way. And I've not got time for a lot of people, or many people, or all people, to be honest. But yeah, it seems to be quite bad on BitChute. And again, it kind of makes you wonder when, you know, you get we had a lot of the big names, if you like, in the truth movement. We had them get deleted from YouTube, similar to myself. But yet here I am back again. But yet they're not. But they went elsewhere and set up BitChute, Odyssey, wherever it may be. And some people do say, well, that's not by accident either, because they're put there so that people like us, me, you, are then going to follow over to these other platforms like Odyssey. And of course, it then becomes pretty much an echo chamber and a bit of a honey trap as well, to be honest. I wouldn't rule that out. Odyssey. My phone decided it was going to go mental. Odyssey's actually a platform that's grown on me a wee bit, to be honest. So it could be the only place to be if I get deleted again on YouTube. You never know. Like I said, I'm already, what was it? I got out a day and then I got put back in prison because they removed Bart Sibrel, the interview that I done with Bart Sibrel, and they claimed that it had, will get rid of me. They claimed that it had medical misinformation. And when I watched it back, I think Bart maybe did say a few things about the juice that they didn't like, shock horror. So, I mean, I wouldn't hold it against the guy. You've got to say what I would never I would have never have told Bart not to say anything or restrict him in any way. I certainly wouldn't want to do that. So I let him say whatever he wanted to say. And if I remember back, I think I did sort of think, oh, that's maybe going to get a strike. But it's took so long because it was a long time ago that it happened. So they can pick and choose when you Basically, when they want to shut you up, they can pull out a video from a year ago and then put you into prison for a week. Pull out 2, give you 2 strikes and put you into prison for 2 weeks. Pull out 3, completely terminate your channel. And they never even done that the second time. They just terminated it. They never even went by their own free strike policy, which I thought was quite comical. They just thought, nope, he's terminated for, and I mean, it was so comical when they said deceptive practices, deception, practicing deception. Yeah, because they know all about that. The absolute cheek of it, the brass neck of this entity like Google to talk about deceptive practices. I mean, it's, if you don't laugh, right, you'll cry, but it's comical. It is genuinely comical. I couldn't quite believe it, but I suppose in the end, we got it back. So we won in the end, but I mean, I don't continuously want to be going through it, to be honest. I just don't. So we're back again anyway, right? Don't celebrate too soon. We are in prison. For how long? Well, we'll see. Like I said, it's up to them. Excuse me as I burp. But hey, we're not going to hold our breath. We could get deleted at any time. It's whatever their view is. The thought police, of course. So next week, I'm hoping next week, right? I'm hoping next Monday, we're going to get into a bit of the geoengineering, right? It's going to happen, but of course, it's already happening. And thank you to Robert. I'm forgetting Robert's second name. I think from Ayrshire, who sent me photos and via email. And yeah, wow. It's it would appear to be the same right across Scotland at the moment with the spraying. Quite bad. I think they've increased it of late as well. And I've never seen it in this picture here. You can see all the grid. It's basically like a grid, right, in the sky. I don't think I've ever seen it that bad. I've seen about 3 or 4, but not in a grid pattern. Just the lines, basically. But does anyone see it like the grid pattern? I guess maybe in the bigger cities, you might see it like that. I think we could be seeing it. I've never seen it that bad, but I think I will eventually see that. God granted, of course, right? Because it's only getting worse. And like I said, it's been going on since before I was born. We've already looked at the documents from, I think, as far back as 1942, where they're attempting to modify the weather. We have a great community here as well. Fantastic. A great bunch. And good to see a dog named Boo back again. And I seen Carmel, excuse me, Carmel mentioned about her spanner, her wrench. I did give you a wrench as well on my original channel. Confused already. So you've been promoted back on the original channel. So next time you go on, you should see it. I'm pretty sure I did do it and I didn't dream it, but who knows, right? We kind of live in the Truman Show. Does anyone here follow one of the main Bill Cooper channels with the guy? I'm unsure of his name, but I mean, the guy, I'm unsure what to make of the guy. I don't think he's too well at the moment. The only way I could describe it is that he I don't know. I shouldn't laugh, but he thinks he's in the Truman Show, basically. And I know we practically are, But this guy's taken it to extreme, and I feel a wee bit for the guy. I really do. I certainly wouldn't be on taking the piss out the guy. There is a lot of deception, and we do pretty much live in a theatre. But not every single person is an actor, or is out to get you, or is out just pretending to be something they're not. Although you do get a lot of that as well. So I do feel for the guy because, hey, we know the world that we're in. It is a theatre. There is a lot of deception. And this is kind of what I mean by when it can be dangerous knowing the truth about the reality that we're in. It can put you on a slippery slope in a psychological sense. So you've got to stay focused. You've got to stay strong, and you've got to know what's genuine. That is for sure. And you need good people around you. And maybe this guy never doesn't have good people around him. Sometimes people can lead you down the wrong path. They could maybe be egging him on rather than supporting the guy and giving him the help that he needs. I think the guy said that he's got no money, and he's been on trying to maybe get donations from people. But I mean, I know what that can be like as well. Uh, I've lived through times where I've not had any money. Not that I've got any now, to be honest. I still basically get by. I think the majority of people, they pretty much get by. Maybe a holiday or a meal out from time to time, if they're lucky. Treat their kids. Of course, on top of all that, if you've got kids, you've got Christmas, birthdays, Easters, you name it. It's never ending. So money can be, especially at the moment, money is a serious issue. In fact, there's a lot going on with money currently. We've touched on that before. We know where it's going, to the cashless society, which is practically already here. We might get into the money. I see Bandy Boo in the hood. I'm trying to read comments, but I can't. I'm hopeless. I'm absolutely useless. So I do apologize, but good to see my friend from down under, right? Yeah. Is it cold where you are? But it's not meant to be. It's actually been quite warm where I am, and it's meant to be quite cold. So there is havoc to be seen going on with the weather. There has been for a long time. People either see it or they choose not to see it. It's pretty clear. And a lot of the unintended consequences of geoengineering are the same as what's happening at the moment. So, yeah, make of that what you wish, right? But good to see Bandy Boo. I hope you're doing well, my good friend from down under. I thought you would be happy it's getting colder in Australia. Is it not too hot there? I laughed. I shouldn't laugh, but the other day I did say, "Oh, because it's not warm here. We had the flowers. A lot of the plants and flowers, they've bloomed again. Basically, not only that, I noticed that some of the birds, they had laid another clutch, and I thought, wow, they've took advantage of this extended warm period and actually had another clutch of young, and a lot of the flowers, they bloomed again. And I mean, I've seen it being frost, snow, maybe even at this time before. And I said, oh, I was saying that if it's global warming, long may it continue, right? Good. Scotland's going to get warmer. We've got some good news finally. Of course, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be good. It would not be good. They're completely destroying pretty much every system that we have on this world that we're in, or at least they are attempting to manipulate it as much as they can, probably to completely control it. I mean, it's pretty clear to see, right? And we will be getting into geoengineering a lot more. I'm hoping Monday. Did anyone see this clip here? The Homogenitus Cirrus cloud. Yeah. So what? A man-made cloud, right? I thought that was a conspiracy theory. Yeah. Talk about the truth in plain sight as well. But of course, if they called it a man-made cloud, people might realize, right? But if we call it a Homogenitus Cirrus cloud, hooray! No one knows. That would be, I think it's Latin. Am I correct in thinking that it's Latin? Or yeah, I think we're going to go with Latin, right? Is anyone fluent in Latin? I know what I can say. Sequitur ad astra. Does anyone know what that means? No one. I doubt anyone, to be honest. But it means reach for the stars. And I know that because it's the motto for Elgin City Football Club, right? Who said sport was bad? It learnt me. I learnt Latin. I know better Latin than English now. Although that wouldn't take much, right? Oh, man. So I can say Sequitur ad astra, which is reach for the star or the stars. Good luck with that. But I am learning more Latin as well in regards to plant life. Because they have Latin names, the majority of them, if not all of them. So not just the pronunciation, but the spelling as well. God help. God help me, honestly. Oh man, what have I done? But so I have got a lot to learn. I am continuously learning. I've already learned so much, to be honest. So I'm quite happy with the way things are at the moment. But life it's certainly a roller coaster, right? This hurricane here, Betsy. Anyone know her? Anyone remember it from 1965? I've mentioned it before in a live that we done. I think weather warfare. And we touched on a topic, which is Hurricane Hawken. Yay! Let's hack the hurricane so we can destroy it. No, so we can steer it in the right direction, right across, I don't know, New York City or Elgin in Scotland. Look out for it. But this is a manipulated hurricane. And what they did was they claimed that, of course, they claimed they never done it, but then they came out and said, yeah, we did actually done it. So shock horror, right? The truth always comes out. But if people think that they're not manipulating hurricanes today, oh, you might want to reconsider that one. And is it hurricane season now in America? I think it might be. Is it always hurricane season in America? I'm unsure. We don't have a hurricane season in the Pictish northeast of Scotland in the rolling hills of Murrayshire, right? Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Although in saying that, I recall, and this is this is genuine. I must have been about 10, maybe 11, and I was in one of my mum's friends' houses, and it's based in a kind of high flat, and you can see right across, pretty much out to sea. You can see a huge stretch of the sky, and we seen what appeared to be a twister in the sky, just floating through the sky. honestly, it was one of the weirdest things I've ever seen in my life, and still to this day, I do not know what it was, but I reckon it was some sort of twister. But I think we do get them in the UK, but they're very small. It was either a twister or a UFO. I don't know. It was shaped like a twister, but small. But it was hard to judge because it looked quite far away as well, and it was in the sky, like not touching the ground or anything like that, like properly flying in the sky. And yeah, it was really weird. I have seen UFOs and shooting stars, but it was really one of a kind. And thinking back, it would have been pretty much right above the Royal Air Force Base, which is about 6 miles from where I am. And I'll tell you another interesting thing as well, because I seen a shooting star in about 2016, and that was in the same area, which was above. It was above the Royal Air Force Base here in Murrayshire. Now, I don't know what that would say, but a lot of these things that happen tend to be round about these military bases, not just here. I've heard of it similar incidents in the England, in America, and there's a military base nearby. So there could be something in that, right? But Hurricane Hawken, it'll still be going on today. I mean, come on. Who they trying to kid, right? Are we still going, right? Hurricane Hamish. We do get storms in Scotland, obviously, and they get named. I think we did have a Hamish, not a hurricane, but a storm. I would imagine the way it's going and the way that they're heading with the current affairs, we're going to see an increase in storms, possibly even this winter, and they're going to get more severe. Last week, one of the days, the spraying one evening was terrible. Then the very next day, it was really bad weather, and the wind, it picked up severely, quite quick, just after the spraying. And I thought, yeah, funny that, right? Just a coincidence, of course. Totally nothing to worry about. It's just the weather, of course. So let me see. We're going to get into Hawken hurricanes again, because like I said, hey, we'd be kidding ourselves if we thought it wasn't going on today. It will be, and it'll be probably NASA that are behind it. They're always there or thereabouts, right? In the geoengineering live that we're going to do, we're going to look at some of the past weather modification operations, some of the people involved, right? There's 2 badges there. Anyone familiar with these? I would be surprised if anyone's seen them, actually. But hey, if there's anyone that's going to surprise me, it's you people in the chat. That is for sure. But I'm unsure. I don't think many people would have seen it. That one there, you've got the bunny on the aeroplane with the lightning strike. It would appear to be lightning strikes. They're quite common. Personally, the lightning strike is, for me, it says satanic. I mean, why is that even a lightning strike instead of just being a normal plane? And that one with the question mark, yeah, an interesting one, that, right? Reminds you of the Riddler from the, I was going to say from the Joker, from Batman. And that reminds me, if you are not subscribed to John Davidson's channel, then get it done. I'm going to be there on Friday, and I was meant to watch the movie. I was meant to watch the movie last night, but I forgot, and I fell asleep. And I was carried away. I was knee deep in geoengineering stuff again. It's rabbit hole after rabbit hole with that, and you just get completely lost. But I'll watch it tonight. Um, or I might watch it while I'm studying, right? But I have to review the movie, so it's probably a good idea to have my full concentration on it. I can't even remember what it's called. But since I'm my good brother, our English brother sent the link, and the video is up, so you can put a notification for it. I think Steve linked it in, so you could jump over and have a look when I'm finished. Right? Not now. Don't go now. Of course, you can go whenever you like. It's a rotating door here. Right? There's no mandates, nothing. I think they dropped mandates in Canada in regards to the juice. I mean, these people who went and walked right into it, they've got to feel a bit silly now, right? I mean, they pretty much dropped everything now. Packing up all the juice centres, the abattoirs, all the testing centres have pretty much disappeared. And I would imagine a lot of them will be shitting it. Big time. Are we buffering? Are we buffering down under? All the way down under. I guess we would be, right? That'll be them satellites because they're so useful. They're so good. Of course they are. They don't have any limitations. Yeah. Yeah. Of course they've got limitations. Interesting limitations as well, which we'll get into either next week or the week after. There's a few things in the pipeline, so I kind of need to nail one down so we can work on that, get it done, and move on. At the moment, I'm kind of in the middle of three different videos, if you like, projects maybe, and on top of that, life and the college situation. What time are we on actually? Half past, is it? Almost. Yeah, we could go until about 2 o'clock. So even 2:30, depending on how long I can go. 2:30 might be my limit today. I think John might be live tonight as well, so you can check it out. Although I could be wrong. Don't hold me to that. Yeah, the Jabatois. I don't see anyone at them now. But they're still there. Not as many, I don't think, but I'm unsure if they're ever gonna go away, some of them. I think they're on about a number 5 this winter. Quick, run to the Jabatois! There will likely be, and I've got to watch what I'm saying because I'll end up getting a strike and this channel will be deleted. But there's going to be take 2 with the variant situation this winter. And it worked a wonder last time. I don't think it's going to work the same wonder this time. So they're going to probably have to up their game in terms of the fear. And, well, they can do that in lots of ways, to be honest. But again, I've got to watch what I'm saying. But expect more this winter and be prepared physically, mentally. Stock up on what you can. I'm well underway now in terms of preparation. I really am. I'm actually getting quite happy with myself in terms of how I'm now prepping. It's been a lot of trial and error, to be fair. But now I feel like through my own experience in it, I'm in a good place where I can prep in a sensible way and not worry, basically. Not worry about a blackout, the shops being shut, a lockdown. Obviously, my main concern is my kids and my wife and my family. So, yeah, that was a bit of a concern, that which has got less as I've prepared more. And of course, with prepping and stocking, you've got to have your own security. That's increased, if you like. I'm happy with that situation. Anyone, put it this way, anyone planning anything, they would probably become lunch or dinner at some point, depending on how bad the Hunger Games gets, right? And that's of course a worst case scenario. And if you are prepping, my advice is don't tell anyone. But a lot of people are now. It is becoming common knowledge that people are going to be getting stocked up. I think they're now saying that tinned items, canned food, is pretty much going to be gone, mainly due to prepping, which I'm unsure about. I think that's more to do with them doing away with canned items because they don't want people stocking up. Shock horror. It's certainly worth looking into, and we're going to revisit the prepping situation. But I wanted to show you these guys here. Let's get rid of me a sec. Can I? There we go. I wanted to show you these guys. The 25th Special Operations Group. Yay! Special Operations! Yeah. American military. Interesting logo, right? What is that? A coat of arms. What sort of flower is that? Is anyone going to tell me what flower it is? Reminds you of the Ukraine flag, right? If you notice the dates of active service, I wouldn't say it was a rose, to be honest. I don't think it is. I'm unsure, but I don't think it's a rose. Although I'm probably wrong. I should have checked, really. But this is actually for a future stream, but I wanted to show you today while I've got the chance. I don't think it's a rose. I'm going to have to look into it. I'm not going to sleep tonight. It's a bit more like a clover shape. I wouldn't say it had petals of a rose. Or the corolla of a rose. Do we know what the corolla is? Check me now, right? A plant expert. A weed expert. Now, there's no such thing as a weed. It's all plants, right? Don't be calling them weeds. I'm reading a book at the moment, The Joy of Weeds, and it's a classic book. I've got another one, The Need to Weed, and it tells you all about the weeds common in the UK, and it's fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. At least I find it fascinating. I've been learning so much in that way, although I'm struggling to name this plant. But it seems common with England as well, I believe. So it could possibly be a rose. You might hear a dog toy downstairs. It's not me chewing a dog toy. I'm not quite there yet. But if you notice the active dates, right? So it went from 1948 to 1952. And then it was dormant until 1991, until the present day. Right? So it had a period of being non-existent, basically, from about the early 50s until the 90s. And this Special Operations Group is based at Wuju Adamunivet, the Cannon Air Force Base. Now, do we know where that is? Does anyone want to tell me where it's located? And does anyone want to tell me why that would be interesting or raise an eyebrow? Of course, Cannon Air Force Base is in New Mexico. And what is Cannon Air Force Base now famous for, in my view? Filming the moon landing, the original one. And of course, we found that out through Bart Sibrel. And we're going to be getting into this a lot more because it's a good one. It's quite interesting, right? Now, if you look here, the fighter squadron was inactivated in September 1995. Yeah, this is the one we're looking for, the EF 111A, equipped 429 ECS, was inactivated in May 1998. With the 27th Operations Group officially holding a retirement ceremony. Oh, bugger. Why did I do that? With the 27th Operations Group officially holding a retirement ceremony in Memorial Park, right? The F111 in various forms had been at Cannon Air Force Base for 29 years. Now, from 1998, it had been inactive, it had been in various forms at Cannon Air Force Base for 29 years, and that was since 1998. So what year would that take us to if you take away the 29 years from 1998? What year would that take you to? Does anyone know? Is anyone good at mathematics? Because I think I worked it out, but I could be wrong, honestly. So what year would it be? What would it be if you took away 29 years from 1998? Justine's got it. It would be 1969. And of course, when did they seemingly land on the moon? That wouldn't be 1969, right? Surely not. So they were probably there at the Cannon Air Force Base in 1969, which is the place, like I said, where Bart Sibrel is saying that they recorded the moon landing. Now, do you think these craft, these F111s, do you think NASA would be involved with them? I wonder, right? Surely not. Surely not, right? Well, I wouldn't hold your breath, to be honest. There's the aircraft there. Seemingly very expensive. More expensive than they had planned it to be. But used by this special forces group, which would appear to be the kind of private group for the Hidden Hand. If you look at the history, it is staggering. Not just with the the special group, but another squadron, which is the 33rd Squadron. You could not make it up, honestly. There's a lot in this, and we're going to get into it a bit more. If you notice there on this one, on the back, you can see the NASA logo. And I think this would, well, it would have been at Cannon Air Force Base where they filmed the moon landing, at least going by the deathbed confession that Bart got. And if you've not watched, in fact, we'll play a wee bit of it when I'm going out, right? But there you go. You've got the NASA logo on the back in yellow. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. This is basically a NASA fighter jet. That's what it is. A NASA. I think they call it a NASA training aircraft. But it's pretty much NASA's aircraft. It's not the military. And just on that as well, before I forget, when I was at college the other day, the Royal Marines were there, and one of them was a captain, a Canadian guy. And they were playing a video of training, and I asked the guy, I said, "Is that a warrior?" It was a vehicle. It was just an armored vehicle, but I was sort of breaking the ice with conversation. And I said, "Is that a warrior there?" And he said, "No, that's actually just an armored vehicle, extra armor." And he then said, "It's not ours. It belongs to the French military, but they were using them." And I said, "Oh, that's interesting, that." And he said, "Yeah." And then I asked him where they were, or what they were doing at the moment in regards to combat. And he said they had just came back from Poland, training the Polish troops. And I thought, wow, yeah, that's quite interesting as well. And I said, "So what about now?" And he said, "We probably will be going to Ukraine to train Ukrainian troops again. They've already been to Ukraine training troops." And I asked him if I said, "Do you think that war's going to be over this year?" And he said, "No, it'll be going on well into next year." And I thought, wow, he gave away quite a bit. And I mean, that might be common knowledge. I'm unsure because I don't look in the media too much, but it can be interesting what you can get out of people like that. He was a captain quite high up in the Royal Marines, right? And I kind of walked away thinking, wait a minute, who's fighting this war? Is it Britain that's fighting it? Because it would look like it is Britain in America. Yeah. It was certainly an interesting conversation. I thought I would mention it before I forget, right? Because I probably will, or would have even forgot. I did mention it on the last Jacobites. So there's another one there that's got the NASA logo painted all over the back of it. Yeah, NASA and USAF, American Air Force, right? And an interesting logo, that one as well. We'll be getting into that a bit more. Again there, NASA and the Air Force, this time again in the yellow and blue. Interesting choice of colors for them to have, but there you go, right? So NASA, they are all over this aircraft. What's the chances that NASA were based at or working at the Cannon, New Mexico Air Base in 1969? I'm beginning to think they were, going by some of this. I'm unsure if Bart knows about this, but I'll put it forward to him, and he can check it out and see what he makes of it. But going by the dates that they give, it would appear that it was there in 1969, and that would indicate, in my view, that NASA were there also. How fitting, right? Very fitting indeed, if you ask me. The Space Force, the Space Force is one that we're going to get into in the future as well. We will get round to them. Another satanic NASA entity, pretty much. We will get to them, a dog named Boo. But the special unit, what's it called again? Let's try and get it right? That bloody dog, honestly. 27th Special Operations Group, right? This guy's who have the 33rd Battalion under their wing, and we're going to get into them as well. Where are we? They also have this bit of equipment, the Predator. Look, it's got Hellfire missiles on it. It's a spy plane. It's like a drone, right? I wonder what they use this for. This special unit pretty much deals in not war on the Russians, war on us, a psychological war, and probably the war on the weather as well, if you want to call it that. Imagine having this hovering above your head. Don't hang about if you ever see one of these flying through the sky. Fucking get out of there, right? It would probably catch you, so who knows, right? But of course they've got one of them. It's like a small version of the Poseidon, which is here in the UK, in Lossiemouth. It's a gigantic spy plane, a surveillance plane, if you want to call it that. Spying on us, of course, no one else. Without a doubt, the real war is on the public. At least in my view. Now, these guys here, I mean, honestly, you couldn't make this stuff up. You genuinely couldn't. Does anyone know about this squadron? Has anyone ever heard of them before? Someone's bound to have, right? Surely. If Frank the Tank's in the hood, he might have heard of them. To be fair, I only heard about them last week. So if you've not heard of them, I'm going to let you off. I won't issue any press ups, right? And who's talking about American Dad in the chat? Don't distract me. Right? I was quite a big fan of American Dad. I don't really have the time to watch it anymore, to be honest. At the moment, the stuff that I mainly watch in that sense is useful rather than entertainment-wise, although when it's interesting, it is also entertaining, I believe. But I do like American Dad. I'm not a big fan of Seth MacFarlane. Let's face it, I don't think anyone is. But I've grown up pretty much since Family Guy came out. I've pretty much watched it. And American Dad, the Cleveland show. There was one as well. What was it called? Border Town. Did anyone watch that? It was fucking hilarious, honestly. I just remembered it there. It's not came out again. Did anyone watch Border Town? It had a guy who was a border security guard between America and Mexico. And he was always getting done over by the Mexican. His neighbor was Mexican and he owned his own business cutting grass and he was always doing well. And this guy could never believe it. I think his name was Bob and it was called The Border Town. Honestly, if you've never seen it and you liked American Dad and stuff like that, you're going to like Border Town. They should take it out again. Honestly, it's hilarious. I'm going to have to find it again and get a bit of a laugh, right? You can't beat having a laugh as well. A lot of people, they're not into American Dad and stuff like that, but there's usually something that you can get into in a comedy sense, right? There's lots of comedians out there. Many different forms of comedy, but I think comedy is going to be done away with eventually through the hate speech and stuff like that. You can't say anything, right? Pretty much you cannot say anything, even if you're joking. even if it's not meant in an offensive manner or pointed at an individual. It's kind of getting out of hand in that way. Some comedians have spoke out, many of them haven't, which is disappointing but not surprising. Does anyone know what's in this logo here? Of the 33rd Special Operations Squadron. Yay! Now, this squadron is the right-hand man of the agenda, honestly. It is. It's the special unit for the agenda. I kid you not. It's changed its name, adapted its name throughout time. The 33's always stayed there. And this unit's always been there in the thick of it, carrying out special operations for the, well, seemingly the American government. So I guess the American president at the time, right? Sure. Because they've got lots of power. Yeah, like Biden. I mean, wow. Have you seen what that guy's been saying lately? Honestly, and people just laugh at it as well. The sick individual that he is. I better watch what I'm saying. I was going to say something that might have got me a strike there for hate speech. But there's things, yeah, I'm not even going to say. I mean, when you look at Biden, he's like the Walking Dead as well. And I always think, is he joking when he's speaking, or does he even know what he's saying when he's speaking? Is he even human? Honestly, the guy needs an update, right? Definitely. He's I'm beginning to lose words on how to describe Joe Biden. Honestly, I can't think. Honestly, he's just, there's no words to describe him, and that's the American president. What, that seemingly achieved the most votes in history? Oh man, fucking hell! Honest to God, you could not make that up, man. Honestly, that is so comical. All them dead people voting for him, right? All them dead people that vote in America. Yeah. I wonder how many dead people vote in the UK. All these elections are a complete and utter sham. Big time. An absolute fraud, a circus. Honestly, how anyone could have any faith in them whatsoever is beyond me. Absolutely. I mean, I guess it's maybe just hope rather than anything when these people do vote. And they live in the hope that things might change. But, I mean, they'd be kidding themselves, right? Look at history. Any adult surely sees it for what it is now. I mean, come on. Honestly, if you're over the age of 30 and you can't see it now, you're living in denial, basically. And it's not a nice place to be living in. That'll affect you big time. Mentally, you need to be open. You need to be honest with yourself first and foremost in the world that we're in today. And do what needs to be done. And whatever it's going to be, I'm going to go wherever I need to go. I always believe that, hey, if it's meant for you, it won't pass you. So I guess when I fell off my bike, I was meant to. I was thinking about that the other day. Bloody hell, fell off my bike, right? I wonder what I'd done to deserve that. Karma got me. Maybe I'm redeemed now. Hooray, I got redeemed, right? I survived. Just touch wood, at least. I still kind of get delayed concussion from it. But I was thinking about that because the other day I got a puncture on my back tire on my bicycle, right? And I was halfway to college and all I heard was, "Tss, you bugger." And I sort of shrunk down. Shrunk down into the ground, right? That dreaded feeling. And I thought, oh no, flat tire, puncture. I don't even know what it was. I think it might have been glass, but I couldn't see it when I fixed it. It's fixed now. So I had to walk, right? And I had to walk pretty much about, I don't know, 2 mile maybe, which is not much. It's not far. Easily done. Do it on my head, probably. Well, I tried to when I fell off my bike, but so I walked the rest of the way. And when I got there, one of the students that I get on really well with, one of the ladies that are there, she certainly knows her stuff and she's very switched on, which is great because I think it's kind of just me and her that know what's going on in the world. The lecturers, of course, they would have to watch what they're saying. I don't think they would say very much in that way, but it's good to have someone there that knows she knows the score, right? She knows all about the juice, the pandemic, the whole lot. And it's good to have a true blood on your side, right? So I got in and I told her, I told the rest of them that I got the puncture, and it's like, yeah, disappointing and stuff like that. But the way I look at it is that it was meant to be. I was meant to walk from there. It wasn't meant to be cycling for whatever reason, unknown to me, and I likely will never know. I was not meant to be cycling that part of my journey. So I had to walk, and I did. I quite happily walked it and got there. And hey, a puncture can be repaired. Well, I had to get a new tube, so I had a spare tube anyway. Lots of tubes in Elgin. It takes one to know one, I guess. So I had my spare one. I was unsure if it was the right size, but it was. So yeah, happy days, and we're going again. We're back on the 2 wheels, and a lot more cautious on the bike, I must admit. Not to a sense of I won't speed, because I'd probably do speed on it if that can be done, but certainly more cautious, right? So we'll leave my gymnastics on the bike for the time being, right? I'm still here, at least, touch wood, we're still going. My delayed concussion, it's not as bad, so I think it's improved. So I'm happy. I'm happy enough that I'm going to be all right. But hey, you never know what's around the corner, right? But you can't live in fear. You can't lock yourself away in your house and not do anything. That would be wrong. But there is ways to look at life. When things happen, it could likely be for a reason. So you can look at it like that and say, well, yeah, if it's meant to be, it'll be, right? So these guys here, do we know what sort of animal that is in the badge? Does anyone know? It's an eagle, right? It's a bird of prey. It's funny because it's an eagle, but it's not an eagle as well. How does that make sense? How could it be an eagle's foot but not be an eagle? Riddle me that. Can anyone work that out? I'll give you a bit of time to try and work it out. It's an eagle's foot, but it's not an eagle. So try and think of something that has an eagle's foot that's not an eagle. Can anyone guess? Can anyone get it? So it's got an eagle's foot, but it's not an eagle. It's I'll give you another clue. It's mythological, right? I think we're going to get it now. So it's an eagle's foot and it's a mythological creature. Well, seemingly a mythological creature. Surely somebody's going to get it. I think I would have even got it. I've gave you enough clues now, surely. It's not a raven, it's not a falcon. They're not mythological. It's not a phoenix, which is a good guess, but that's not correct. Yay, Carmel's got it. Someone got it eventually. I thought I was going to have to give you the answer there. Robert got it as well, and I think Robert as well sent me the chemtrailing photos. I will get them shared. I'll share them when I do the geoengineering stream. So thank you to Robert. We've already got, it's not a dragon, Liz. It's a griffin, right? It's a griffin. So seemingly a griffin's it's got an eagle's foot in the head of a lion, I think. I don't know. We'll have a look anyway in a sec. But yeah, it's a griffin. So that's what I meant by it's an eagle's foot, but it's not an eagle. Right? So it didn't make sense, but it did make sense. It did make sense. Yeah, we'll go with that. And Carmel got it, so the check is in the post, right? Well done. I thought we would get there eventually, right? And so these guys, I mean, yeah, what's with the mythological creatures as well when it comes to these entities and these gods and goddesses? It is everywhere. I mean, even in the Royal Air Force here, the Poseidons. We know all about Poseidon. We touched on him before in terms of the god Poseidon. Not a very great character, looking back. So, yeah, you've kind of got to wonder, right? So let's have a look. Let me see. We're kind of running out of time. What I want to do now is screen share. If I can manage it. Add to stream. Oh, there we go. So, like I said, we'll touch on the griffin in a sec. The badge and the motto, right? The motto, I'm not going to find it now, am I? Honestly, it's just a jungle of words. Ah, man, my eyesight sometimes. And that's with me making it bigger. But if you look here, that's their motto there. Latin motto, similar to the football. It translates to vigilant, loyal, fast, justice. Right. Vigilantia, fida velox, listitia. Yeah. Vigilant, loyal, fast, justice. Right. Interesting one, that, right? I mean, with the Elgin City motto, Sicatur ad Astra, which is reach for the stars, like I said, you can kind of understand it. It makes sense. Yeah, reach for the stars, of course. Try your best, aim high, and you'll land somewhere on the ground if you're me. But this one, I'm a bit unsure as to what it means, to be honest. But we will be getting back into it a bit more. So I think their nickname would be the Griffins. They've been changed to. Still the 33rd Squadron. That never changes throughout their history. And of course, at the moment, in terms of today, I'm going to try and speed it up a bit. They're still involved in special operations activities, unconventional warfare. Huh. I wonder what that could be. Counter proliferation, if you can see it. Direct action. Psychological operations. Yeah. Special reconnaissance, which is a word that I can never say. Civil affairs. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Civil affairs. Psychological operations. I wonder what they could be. I wonder who they could be on. Surely that would be on the enemy, like, I don't know, the Russians, the boogeymen, the Iraqis. No, 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 of course it won't be. It's me and you. Straight up. We're the ones who get the psychological operations. Hip, hip, hooray, right? We're so lucky. Look up the Germ war games. Look up them if you've never heard of them. That'll give you an idea as to some of the psychological operations we get. We're so lucky. Of course, yeah, combating terrorism, they forgot, they put that in almost at the end there. Well, you better put that in, right? To add to it. Of course, yeah, they do that, even though it's a small squadron. It even won awards, but it was a tiny wee squadron. It was getting all the awards. A straight up red flag, if ever. Internal defense, yeah. Information operations, yeah. Info, the information's war. Special operations, of course, yeah. And it goes on. Unconventional warfare. Where is it? In hot spots around the world. Yeah. Like a one world army. Yeah. I wonder who's at the helm there, right? Unconventional warfare in hot spots. What would be deemed as a hot spot of unconventional warfare? Anybody? Answers in on a postcard, right? So of course, yeah, they're at the New Mexico base, the Cannon Air Force Base, shock horror, and we're gonna get into these guys a lot more because there is a lot, honestly, and I think these guys, they, these are gonna tell us a lot, and they're gonna connect a few dots for me. Honestly, it already is connecting a few dots and how a lot of things have worked, how they've done it, who they've used, the tool that they've used. This is one of the tools that they've used. This is a tentacle of theirs, the American military. It talks about it being in movies as well. Where did I see that? And that's all very, yeah, fitting. What a coincidence. Big Hollywood involved with this 33rd Squadron in special operations. Here it is here. Modified aircraft. Where did it go? Why is it not working? Using high-tech surveillance equipment, modified aircraft and weapons straight out of a futuristic film. Yeah. Funny that. They participate in military operations such as Desert Shield and Desert Storm in the Middle East, and many, many more. And if you look at the history of this unit, the 33rd Special Operations Squadron, it's staggering. It's been there from the get-go. And they've always been there in the midst of whatever's going down, based here and there, but mainly since 1969 or thereabouts, probably about 1968, based at the location Bart Sibrel claims that they filmed the original moon landing in 1969. And NASA are all over that aircraft that is tied in with that squadron. And we're going to get into it a lot more. It's probably going to be alive in its own, to be honest. So yeah. Sounds a bit like Vigilante, that, right? Vigilantia. Which is also interesting. But it's vigilant. So I wonder what Vigilante. Or would that just be pronounced Vigilante, actually? Probably is. You can see I'm great with Latin, right? Oh, man. Let's quit while I'm ahead. He's ahead. Yeah, let's go with that. So a griffin. This is quite interesting as well. This caught my eye. Elsewhere in ancient Greek mythology, the griffins were said to be the hounds of Zeus, but were also associated with Nemesis, the goddess of retribution, as well as the god Apollo. Shock horror. Yeah, is that a coincidence, that? I don't think it is, to be honest. I mean, there's no such a thing as a coincidence, let's face it. There's just not. So, in regards to the update, the website's there. The two videos that I done with Sensum are available to be watched. So, get them watched while you still can, because yeah, the Thought Police probably will delete it. The original channel is reinstated in all her glory, but I am currently in YouTube prison. So when I'm back again, it might be here. When am I out? I think maybe Monday. I don't know. I'm unsure. What I'll do is I'll keep you updated as best as I can on here, the community tab, on the Telegram. I don't really use Twitter, although we should be live on Twitch currently. Probably no one at all watching. That wouldn't surprise me. We don't get many there. We don't get many here. So, yeah, no shock, right? But a bit of a live catch update, right? And like I said, probably Monday, right? We're gonna go with that. But basically when I can, there's no sort of, I can't create a structure for when I'm going to be on at the moment. It's that hectic, right? It's pretty much my life in a nutshell. Just hectic. No rest for the wicked, right? Terrible in a past life, me. Do you know this? I had a weird dream, like a nightmare last night. Honestly, I was in some sort of military prison. I kid you not. It was honest. It was pretty, yeah, the only way I can describe it is a nightmare. And the guy who came to the door, my best friend, he was in it as well. Me and him were both in this military prison. I don't know if that stemmed from my conversation that I had with the guy from the Marines, but I mean, I hardly ever even dream. But that was like, wow, was I looking into the future? Where I'm going to be thrown in some kind of camp, right? Oh man. Let's not rule it out. Honestly, I'll see you there, I suppose, right? We'll all be there. We'll all be locked in these prisons, but at least it was only a dream. I'm saying a dream, it was a nightmare, to be honest. The only way I can describe it is a nightmare. But anyway, nightmares aside, I will be on John Davidson's channel on Friday night discussing a movie, which I forgot the name of. Shock horror. Oh, what is it called again? Someone's bound to know what it is. I mean, imagine me reviewing a movie, right? John must have been struggling to get numbers, so yeah, he'll probably do it. And I really enjoyed being on Sensum's channel. That was great. I think I prefer being the guest because then you don't have to do all the work, right? You just have to sit there and throw in your 2 cents, which is great. It's quite relaxing. Although I'm quite laid back anyway, to be honest. But it was genuinely was a pleasure to be on twice. And anytime I've been on Scott's Armor, it's been a pleasure to be on there as well. Scott's will be back again. Similar to myself, hectic with life at the moment, lots going on. No time for anything, pretty much. So you've got to. I mean, we all know we've all got priorities, and it's our family, our life, no matter who you are. And when it comes to YouTube, I mean, it's not our occupation or anything like that. It's sort of a side thing. It's not prioritized in a high category. To be honest, it sounds terrible that, but I'm sure everyone understands that life's got to come first, right? And you can only get round to it when you've got the time. And I've been a bit held up myself with lots of stuff. I've not been able to come on as much as I would have wanted to be honest. And that can be the case. But Scott's will be back, either it be Sunday or next Sunday. Whenever he's got the chance, he'll be on again. And I'll get him on again as well. I'll get him on, excuse me. I'll get him on in the future. And we'll discuss a few things. Maybe 9/11 again. Honestly, that dog in the squeaking. I apologise if you hear it, but he's getting it right. So let me quickly say a cheerio to people in the chat, and then we'll call it a night. I'm saying night, it's afternoon, isn't it? So many thanks to Justine. It's not the same without Justine. It's always great to have her here. A long-term subscriber, always there, very loyal, one of a kind. Our good friend Justine. A pleasure to see you back again. Mark as well. A pleasure to have you. You can't hear. Oh, you can't hear the dog's toy. Well, you're lucky. I thought you was referring to me there. I thought I'd switched my audio off again. If you can't hear it, you're lucky. It's a squeaking toy, honestly. If anyone's listening on headphones, they'll probably hear it. You'll hear me messing about on the stool as well, which can be annoying, so I apologise. So great to have Mark back again. A pleasure. Carmel as well, all the way in New Zealand. I would love to go there as well, New Zealand. I do know someone who moved there, actually, and put it this way, they won't be coming back. So what does that tell you, right? Robert as well, a pleasure to have you back again, and thank you for the photos that you sent. Very interesting. I think when the green dot that you mentioned, I think that was a sun flare from the camera. So I don't think it was anything else. I think it might have just been a reflection, a sun flare. You get them, and they can move about in different positions. And yeah, I'd imagine it might have been that rather than the moon or a star. But I certainly do appreciate the photos that you've sent. So thank you very much to Robert, and I'm hoping that is the right Robert. Right, so good stuff. Much appreciated, our brother. Who else did I see there? Rich as well, of course. No Rich without Carmel. Take care. Good to have you back again, brother. Or should I say, son? Right, a dog named Boo. Always a pleasure to have you as well. Again, long term, lots of long term, which is a good sign, right? They've not all ran away. I've had enough of this guy. I'm sick of him, although saying that, people probably have. You can get like that with content creators from time to time. We're all human, right? None of us are perfect, except for me. Sure, you can tell yourself that, but none of us are. If only. If we were all perfect, the world would be, I don't know, it would be a strange place, right? Yeah, it would be pretty weird, but it's already weird. Let's not go there. So yeah, good to see Liz as well. Liz and Phil, my Scottish brother and sister, down the road. A pleasure to see you back again. Jack Russell as well. Good to see you. Another brother. Good stuff. Good to see you. And who else did I see there? MCG back again. Mic check 1 2. Good to see you. Long term as well. Lots of long term, like I said, which is great. We've got a great community here. We're all very open and honest. We've not got any time for people who just want to come in and be absolute bellends. You'll get an opportunity. We'll give people the benefit of the doubt, but if you're clearly just here to cause trouble, you can forget it. I've not got the time. I couldn't care about the sub count. It means nothing to me whatsoever. Like I've said before, quality over the quantity is my preference. And I don't like to see the community I certainly don't like to see people getting harassed in the chat. I won't have it. I simply will not have it. So we've had people in the past. There's been not many, but a few in the past. And we'll probably get more in the future. But like I said, if you're a moderator and you feel that someone needs a warning, give them a warning. If you feel they need a boot, give them the boot. Just do it. Kick them right out. You've got the full authority from me to do so. And if you don't want to, give me the heads up and I'll do it, right? But we're usually all right. I mean, hey, people are free to see they're free to say even whatever they want. But if you continuously be an absolute bellend, then you're going to have to go, right? Because it's not fair on everyone else. It's just not fair. It's not fair on the content creator and it's not fair on the people in the chat, right? And I won't have people fucking simply coming here to take the piss, whether it be out of me. To be honest, that doesn't even it doesn't even bother me. But out of people in the community, that's a different story. That's a line that I won't have crossed. And like I've mentioned before, these people stick out like a sore thumb. You can't miss them, right? They stink to the high heaven, the absolute high heavens. So we deal with anything like that. If it was out of hand, I probably wouldn't even bother with the live streaming, to be honest, if it was bad. But we do all right. We have our wee community, and we're very open and honest to each other. We try and help each other if we can. We're certainly not out to harass one another or just be here in a negative manner, attention seeking to the absolute ultimate. We've no time for it, right? It's not going to float here, I'm afraid. You'll get your chance, but like I said, if you cross the line, that'll be it. And that's all I'm really going to say on that, to be honest. I don't really care what anyone's got to say about me behind my back. If people are going to speak about me behind my back, then that tells me all I need to know about them, to be honest. And it happens in the world that we're in. It's why I tend to maybe not get involved so much with other content creators. That can cause rifts and a mix in subscribers who maybe don't like certain content and stuff like that. I've seen it happen throughout the years. I mean, I've been a content creator since 2019 on YouTube, but I've been a YouTube commenter since it began, basically. And I've seen it. I know YouTube. I know all about it, to be honest. But we're not going to waste our time on pretty much clowns. And that's coming from me, the biggest clown. So there you go. But always a pleasure anyway. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to find a tune. Then I'm going to call it a day. And I've got to go and get my youngest son, Billy, from school. Hip, hip, hooray. And yeah, that's always quite interesting, to be honest. And I try and do what I can when it comes to my kids. I'm not going to be here forever. So even small things like picking them up from school, it means a lot to me. I can't be here every day to get them, but if I am here, I'll make sure that I'm picking them up or we're both picking them up. And yeah, you've got to enjoy life while you can, right? So like I always say, if the weather's decent, get out there, enjoy yourself, have a bit of fun, try and relax if you can. A lot of us, well, I can only speak for myself, but a lot of the time we're tensed up more than we should be. Just take a deep breath, relax, enjoy yourself, do what you can to enjoy yourself, adapt, adjust your life so you're doing stuff that makes you happy or at least makes you content. You're never completely happy forever. That's not how life works, obviously. Unless you fall and bump your head like me, right? Oh, man. You go through... Life's a roller coaster, but you've got to try and enjoy it while you can because, like I said, it's too short to worry. It is way too short to even worry. So, whatever you do, never, ever live in fear. And... like I always say, do not comply. And that is about it. Bye-bye.
We control the finances, news media, food, transportation, energy. We control everything. It is important that you, as world leaders, keep our program before your country.
loving you isn't the right thing to do. How can I ever change things that I feel? If I could, baby, I'd give you my world. How can I, when you won't take it from me? You can go your own way, go your own way. You can call it another lonely day. You can go your own way, go your own way. And tell me why everything turned around. Packing up, shacking up, so you wanna do. If I could, baby, I'd give you my world. Open up, everything's waiting for you. You can go your own way, go your own way. You can call it another lonely day. You can go your own way, go your own way. You can go your own way, go your own way. You can call it another lonely day, another lonely day. You can go your own way, go your own way. You can call it another lonely day. You can go your own way. You can call it another lonely day. You can go your own way. You can call it